back in time and tell your 20-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
I was in business. I was doing business only.
Okay, at 20 also.
No, after 25 only I started.
So if you could go back to your,
I was in.
what would you tell now if you could go back to your 20-year-old self?
No idea.
Okay, fine. I think that's a little. Okay, what is the most important lesson as you grow older? You learned.
There is no lesson, but we have learned a lot to live, how we have to live.
And how do you think we should live?
So we'll have to separate everything to our future.
Okay.
We should not lag behind with others.
Okay.
And what all we need, we'll have to arrange it and keep ready for us.
So be more prepared.
Yes.
Okay.
We should not accept anything from anybody.
Anyone. So just be self-sufficient.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Have a good day.
Hi.
Dilip Desai.
Hello,
Hi.
Dilip, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are
Thank you for stopping on this fine morning.
Yes, thank you. So if you could go back in time and tell your 20-year-old self one thing, what would you say?
It was entirely different from what it is today.
What is one of your fondest memories of your childhood?
I think it was entirely different altogether now. You see, we could enjoy much more than what we are enjoying now, or what our children, grandchildren are enjoying.
Yeah.
It is limited to your these things.
Yeah.
At that time, that closeness was there. Whereas now, this is actually dividing the closeness, or increasing the gap of that relation. And again, because of this pandemic, I think it is coming back to that old thing.
Yes.
That old thing may not sustain for many years. Once the pandemic is over, again everyone is in that system itself.
Yeah. Very true. And what is your definition of a good life, and what do you think makes life worth living?
Do your own work. Try to help others. Don't try to poke your nose in everything. Be cool, be calm. Get on with the life.
Very true. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day. Uncle, I wanted to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song, Uncle?
Favorite song?
Your favorite band, musician?
Musician is starts with R.
Or favorite category?
R.D. Burman.
Yeah, Hardy Burman.
RD one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lovely. What is the most important lesson you learned as you grew older?
As you grow older, health is the top priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Next comes the other things.
and if you could go back in time and tell your 20-year-old self
Yeah.
one thing,
Yeah.
what would it be?
No, at that time you were just working. We are not bothered about health and all these things. As you grow old, you will realize that health is the top priority and not the money or not the work which is we are doing.
So to live a
For
good
our
life.
satisfaction, you are working hard. That's not the correct procedure. Actually, it should be the other way around. You have to take care of health as well as work.
So what would be your idea of a happy life? Uncle?
Happy life is the health. First is the health, then automatically everything will come. If you don't have health, nothing will come.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much for doing this.
When you were 20 years old,
Oh, when we
Yes,
okay.
when you're 20 years.
if you could give yourself one advice as a 20-year-old now, what would you give yourself advice about?
This is very good compared to that time, because you are not coming outside at all. Parents they won't allow us to come like this freely. Now we can.
No, I
That's
mean,
the difference.
like when you were 20-year-old,
Yes.
if like you were the mother of yourself when you were 20, what would you tell yourself?
Now
Yeah.
I'll tell my son. I have got a son. I'll tell him enjoy this life and go.
Okay. What about you?
ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ
What?
ಏನು ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅದೇ ಅಡ್ವೈಸೇ ನಾವು ಕೊಡೋದು. ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಇದು ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬಿಸಿಲು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲನೂ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ.
ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಸನ್ನು ತುಂಬ
ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಸನ್ನು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಗ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಜಿಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮಗನಿಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಮಗ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಮನೆಯವರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ಅವನು ಆ ಥರ ಅವನು ಜಾಗಿಂಗು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ದೆನ್ ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day. So, uncle, if you could go back to your 20-year-old self right now, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
That was 100% good.
No, if you could give your 20-year-old self advice.
20 years old advice means, see, presently the atmosphere everything is polluted.
Right.
But in those days, even though we were there is not that much of technology.
Okay.
It was good. The relationship was good. The attachment was good. Now, life is mechanical. What I feel, to my
Eyes. Right.
opinion, life is mechanical. No attachments, nothing. Simply, advancement is there, but there's a different style. But those days, joint families, everything,
So it was more together.
not together.
Right.
Now it is only lifestyle is different. Nobody is bothered about it. That's how it is.
What advice, I mean, what do you think is the idea of a happy life according to you?
Happy life means, see, for you people, for the present generation, happy life means having all sophisticated equipments, cars, that, these, and all, and having a lot of buildings, owning buildings. That's not life. A peaceful life with a lot of attachment, living with all our own kith and kin, siblings and all. That's what we feel as happy life. Nowadays, that's nothing. They're all self-centered. They want, there is no attachments. And another thing, can you at least tell me how many of your relations you know? You just tell me. From your mother's side or father's side, how many people you can recognize and just call them and speak to them?
True.
No. Unless otherwise you are introduced to them and they are introduced to you by your own parents. You cannot do it. Nowadays it's not like that. We gather everything, we do, we meet in functions and all. So that was the happiness what we felt. Our children, we are the younger days and we are all small children. It was like that.
So our first question to you is, if you could go back to your 20-year-old self and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Give myself an advice.
Yes.
If I say I have no regrets, everything is fine.
Everything went well.
But nothing to regret like.
No regrets.
Advice given to ourselves. Everything is being fine.
And what is your idea of a good, happy life?
Happy life, stay content with what you have. That's the main thing. You don't look at others and what they are living a life. You don't know what is inside them. On the face of it, you should live a life like that. You should be content with whatever you have. You should make the most of it. That is my advice.
We got married early and then we had children and now we are grandparents and so everything's been smooth sailing.
But what is your ideal idea of a happy life?
In a sense,
Say someone else is listening to you. What would you?
I told you that be content with what you have, make the most of it, and look at for good opportunities. Don't lose heart at a very young age. That's the main thing.
Okay.
And be with your family always.
Okay.
And what is your idea of love?
Love is giving each other respect, listening to one another. That is the main thing.
It's basically give and take.
So, uncle, if I could ask both of you all a question, if you could go back to your 20-year-old self right now, both of you all, and give a piece of advice, what would it be?
Well, I would say stay healthy, do exercises.
We always realize that something is wrong only when you reach a certain age.
Right.
But if you look back, we should have started all these things much earlier in life.
Okay.
We will be immersed in other things during our young age. But everybody says only when you experience after 40, you will have some health problems. Bones.
Yeah, while you
You'll
need
have
to,
stressful life.
yeah, while you need to enjoy your younger days, but then you
Also
also need to stay
concentrate
healthy,
on.
concentrate on your.
The mind is everything. So take control of yourself. You can do anything wonderful. Life is life. Don't worry too much about this social media, which is taking a toll on everybody's life. Just be yourself, be truthful, be good to others, you'll be fine.
Thank you so much. Uncle and Auntie, my final question to you all is, what is your idea of a happy life?
Good question. Happy life.
You don't run behind money.
Be content with what you have.
Whatever you have,
You will
because you can't eat that. How much ever you have. You have 3 meals a day, and the extra will only spend on luxuries, which is not necessary.
Contentment is the key to success and
How
happiness.
does contentment, does it come
Like,
with time?
of course, while you have to be ambitious, but you don't have to be over ambitious. Don't run behind things which are totally realistic and do not really give you the happiness.
And be with your parents. That gives a lot of support. These nuclear families, they are spoiling. You need to stay with. They also will have your support, and you or your children, they will need grandparents support. They will be very happy. If you have a joint family, don't like a long time back, it used to be 10, 15 people. 3, 4 people, parents, children, and that will be fine. You will be happy.
And what is your idea of love?
Idea?
Love.
Love,
Oh,
togetherness, being available for each other and need it. Because emotional stress will be there, and no one is perfect. We have to have a give and take approach and discuss everything openly.
love is something eternal. Only you need to have
You
trust
don't
and
have
confidence in
to
your partner.
exhibit everything. You can,
That was really beautiful.
Believe and trust in each other.
yeah.
Is
We
the
have
definition
carried
of
on
love.
like that for the last
The broad
35
meaning of
years.
love.
Wow,
I hope you
35.
carry on like that for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಹೌ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂತ?
ಲೈಫಾ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಮೇನ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್.
Furqaan, this is Prarthana. Uncle, I just want to ask you if you right now, presently, could go back to your 20-year-old self in the past, what would you tell yourself?
You should enjoy your life as it comes.
Okay.
Have a nice season. Young at heart.
Always. Be a child at heart. So what's your idea of a happy life?
I don't know. Whatever comes on your way, you should take it in a positive way. Then definitely you will have it.
Thank you, Uncle. That was so beautiful. Like you're enjoying this beautiful
Yeah,
day.
definitely.
Thank you so much, Uncle. What is your idea of a happy life, Uncle? And what is your idea of it? How can people like us learn from people like you?
You have to work hard.
Okay, hard work.
That's what.
And what is your piece of advice to people of our generation? What advice would you give?
For your generation.
Yes.
Not taking advice. Generally, what we used to say in the younger age, we used to study
Right.
first. You have to reach our goal.
Okay.
Then automatically everything will come.
Fine.
That is what I suggest even my
children also. Okay. So hard work and teaching.
Education will go out.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you, Auntie. Uncle, so what is your idea of a happy life, Uncle?
Happiness is within you, within your mind. It is not outside. So if you realize that, you can lead a happy life.
How do you realize that?
Because you must see when you are happy. We confuse happiness for pleasure. When you eat masala dosa, you feel very pleasure. Yes, it is very tasty.
Right.
But after 2 days, you don't get that joy of, you don't get that pleasure of enjoying masala dosa after 2 days. You have to eat one more masala dosa if you want to be happy. That is what the predominant life, we are running after pleasure, thinking that is happiness. We are mistaking that is happiness and we are running after pleasure. All something you take from outside to inside is pleasure.
Right.
Eating, listening to music, or doing, wearing a new shirt or a pant, or whatever you take from outside to yourself is not happiness, is pleasure. We are all leading, that pleasure is required. I am not telling you should not have pleasure. Pleasure is important. But most of the youngsters and the predominant section of the elders also are immersed in this pleasure activity. The concept of life is, I am born, I have to earn money, I have to marry, I have to enjoy sex, I have to make wealth, and one day I will perish. That is the main focus. This is the Western life. So that has occupied many people's mind, particularly after globalization, that we are running after that. Happiness is, you are teaching a poor boy mathematics. He cannot afford to go to tuition. You are an educated young man. You teach mathematics to that young boy. He comes after 10 years and says, I salute you because of your teaching of maths. Today I am a graduate. What do you feel?
Happy, ecstatic.
That is happiness.
Right. More contentment, more
What you
substance.
give from you to somebody is a sustaining happiness. After 10 years, that boy comes and says, you feel happy. Masala dosa is for 2 days.
So true.
So no instant gratification, more sustainable happiness.
So this is instant gratification, you told the right word. That has become predominantly in the mind of the people. We are running after this instant gratification and that pleasure activity. It is unending.
Right.
It is unending, we will be in pleasure activity. If you don't have a purpose of life, that your life is for something, if your life is for pleasure activity, when you become old like me, many pleasure I cannot enjoy. So I'll be worried, I'll become a mental patient.
Right.
That's what in many developed countries, the mental disease, depressions, and then so many other problems are more. More number of psychiatrists live in, Indian psychiatrists live in America, make money than in India. So you must, youngsters also should think, requires lot of pleasure, so you are young, but that is not the only life. You must have your pleasure when your body asks for that. But nowadays it is becoming a sort of an addiction because I don't have anything other than that to look for.
I understand.
I don't have anything, what is life meant for? I should do something. Whatever the future people are talking, yes, you must have an idea, you must have a goal, you must have this thing, that thing, it's all money making goals.
Right.
Not doing something which you possess everybody has got something unique. But you should try to see that becomes your goal, and you should try to reach that, excel in that. Money is required for life. After some limit of money, what is the use of that money? That is just a currency note, that's all. It is only when you spend the money it has got value.
Right.
Think about it. But we are accumulating money in the bank account.
Until my last question to you, coming back to what you said about finding your purpose, how do people of our generation, more lost and trapped in instant gratification, social media, and more distractions than you had predominantly had during your times, how would people of our age find their purpose?
It's very difficult to answer just like that, because I feel the present youth and younger generation are a bit unfortunate when compared to my life when I was, because the society was had certain way of life, particularly if you take smaller towns and rural areas. There is a way of life. Everybody follows that way of life. There is no question of I am different, I am doing this and that. But today, we are in the globalized world. We are exposed to different cultures, different way of life. So, youngsters are confused. What is that I need to choose and where to go for? It won't come just like that, unless otherwise you make effort and you need to swim against the current. All your peer group says, this fellow is a useless fellow, he talks like an old man. When you talk about not the instant gratification, but he extended that.
Yeah.
But in nowadays, it was not like that. We used to wait for so many pleasures which develop in our adolescent time and youth. We used to wait to satisfy them. Because my elder brother was like that, the society was like that. Everybody used to do like that, and I also did that. Today there are so many.
There are no rules, you're saying. There are no rules as such.
In between.
There are no rules as such.
There is no such thing. Because you can do anything. And that is the order of the day. For example, I tell you, whether we want or not, it is bombarded to youngsters particularly that everything you should enjoy. That is the main focus. Take one example. You have a video game. You play some game in the, let's say, the game is about growing grains in the agricultural field. I don't know whether such a game is there or not.
Probably would be.
Okay, you are growing grains.
Right.
You are doing so many things. You have to water, you have to put manure, you have to do harvesting, you have to take care of this thing, you have to see that cattle won't come and graze it. All those things you do it. After that, you get a point. You have won. You have got so many tons of grains. So you feel happy. This you have. So what is the message you get? Instant gratification. Within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you are growing so many tons of paddy in the mobile game and feeling happy. But a farmer waits for 4 months to do that thing and feel the happy. There was no concept for me that I can do this early and feel happy. Because many of our games also indirectly gives you a sort of a thrill instantaneously. We get addicted to that thrill. I want that thrill, I want that thrill. Thrill, I want more thrill, more thrill. That is why some people are becoming addicted and getting into mental hospital. So youngsters should debate this. Youngsters should discuss in your peer groups what is life and how do we take this thing. And pleasure versus happiness. You can debate. what is this pleasure, what is this happiness. You can verify these things in books or in literature, etc. These are available. These are not that I have invented or I have invented. This is universally true. So this is to be understood, and you should boldly try to say, this is my value, I stand for this. If some youngster group takes, this is my value, I stand for this, that becomes fashion. When it is fashion, others will follow.
Very true. Yeah.
Thank you. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this, please share this and subscribe. Thank you.